Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the channel. I will ask you to subscribe, but I've been told to stop asking for that, and that's fair comment. So from this point forward, I'll never ask you to subscribe, and you're not going to get the ticker over the bottom that says subscribe. Completely up to you. Completely up to you. The rise of the king, Honda, in the retro world. Okay, so figures of the Honda GB 350 in the UK, they've sold over 1,100 units, and that's up to 2025. No idea how many have been sold in 2026. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lot more. Honda have done really well. From my perspective, I think there were a lot of people on the fence that would have loved a retro. They would have loved a retro, but maybe they weren't ready to leap over to Royal Enfield. I'm just saying, oh, is that the case? Shoot me down if I'm wrong. I can understand that. I've had a Royal Enfield. I've had Royal Enfields. I've also had the BSA Gold Star. BSA Gold Star was great. Absolutely great. But that was another channel bike. Let's go under this tree. So, let's talk about Honda. Honda are really making a move. Look at this beautiful land. Oh my goodness. On a beautiful day in August, Honda are making a real move. This month in August, they are releasing the Honda CB400 SF, the Super 4, over in Japan. Estimated price for that, if it gets over to America, is somewhere around $6,100 to $6,200. So if it comes over to the UK, which I hope it does, with its 58 horsepower, we're not bothered talking about torque, which I hope it does. I hope it comes over to the UK. I suspect it'll be £6,200. There we go. What do you think to that? Would you want to ride a Super 4? Yeah? Going back to the 4 cylinders. Seems interesting that Honda are doing away with the approach of currently parallel twins and singles. But then again, that said, they're also bringing out the CB500 single, 28 horsepower, with loads and loads of torque. So that's good news. I reckon that'll be about £5,000, maybe a bit less. Certainly in competition, again with Royal Enfield. So not only are they bringing out the CB400 SF, the Super 4, over in Japan, which means it may come over to the UK and the rest of Europe in 2027, maybe earlier. Probably not, but maybe earlier. They're also bringing out the CB500 Super 4, CB500 SF. So if the 400 Super 4 is £6,200, how much will the 500 be? That's kicking out, I believe, somewhere around 78 horsepower. Wow. I hope that comes to the UK as well. Beyond that, we're still waiting for the CB1000F. We're still waiting. My goodness, I know they've had problems with that power plant from the Fireblade, with oil in the Hornet and all that kind of thing. So they're obviously correcting that, and that's why it's a bit delayed. It was meant to be in the UK. In April 2026. That's now been deferred to September 2026, only a month away. But maybe it's going to be a bit later than that. £10,600, that's what they're estimating the price will be. Absolutely wonderful machine. Now they're really pulling together this retro approach, our Honda. And I think there's a good reason why. I think we're all getting a bit older. I know I'm an old fart. I often say this. I'm an old fart. I often think that times were better in the past. It feels like they were better, but they were just different. It was just different. Yeah. So when they bring all these retros out, Honda and other manufacturers, they're clutching on to your psychological nostalgia to bring you into that bike. And that's okay. That's okay. I agree with that. But secondly, the beauty about the retros is, as we get older, and I am getting older, I'm 59 now, soon be 60, they're easier to get on. They're just easier to get on. And that's okay. They get on and ride, put your feet down when you come to a traffic light and all that good stuff. They are easier to ride. And I mean, I've had the Triumph T100. I've had about 3 or 4 of them in various countries that I've lived in. I've had the Triumph T120, been over Europe twice, I believe, 2 or 3 times. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Had the BSA Gold Star. Channel bike, bought it for the channel. Absolutely wonderful. No major problems on that at all. Would I have another BSA Gold Star? Possibly not. But I mean, BSA have gone leaps and bounds now with their retro styled bikes that they've come out with. But back to Honda. With Honda bringing out these new machines, I think there are other manufacturers, including Royal Enfield, probably Royal Enfield, the top of the chain, that are a bit worried about this around the boardroom. Because I think there's a lot of bikers, a lot of riders, not bikers, riders. Come on, let's walk. A lot of riders that may be a bit cautious about purchasing a Royal Enfield for whatever reason. For whatever reason. I understand that. You want to stick to your Japanese stuff. I understand that. But now Honda are bringing them out. Honda, the king of motorcycles. Yes, and they are. I know my American friends and American viewers may well think it's Harley Davidson, but actually from a sales perspective, Honda are leading the way. They really are leading the way. God, it's beautiful out here. I know I should be riding a bike, but I thought I'd take you for a walk. What do you think, Susie? She's here. Are you going to be interested in buying a Honda? Do you know what? Would fit me nicely. I know I keep on wanting the CB1000F. But actually, having got the GSX 1400 and the amount of power that has, let's stick this up here. Yeah? Let's stick it in my usual place. The amount of power that the GSX has, 120 horsepower, and it's the same sort of horsepower the CB1000F will have. I just don't utilise that power. And I'm not sure I'd utilise the power if I bought a CB1000F. But the CB500, 4-cylinder, could really be in my Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, not too big, not too small. It might be just right for me. Even the 400, that's kicking out 58 horsepower. That might be just right. And it spins up at, I think it kicks out 58 horsepower at 11,500 RPM. So it's a fast spinning engine. It's not one of these that redline out at 9,000 RPM. Not that I'm promoting engines that redline at 15,000 RPM. Yeah? Susie, stop eating that. What do you think? Would you go for it? Would you go for a CB400 SF or the CB500 SF? Would you wait for that? Would you wait for that moment in time? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. It's interesting times. 2027 is going to be an interesting year for Honda. It really is. There's a lot of stuff blowing through the air. All the seeds are blowing through the air. It's beautiful out here. It's beautiful. We're so fortunate in the UK to have land like this. What do you think to that statement? It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's why I thought I'd come and take you for a walk. The Hondas, the king of bikes, is going to come with a vengeance in 2027. They already tasted the market with the GB350 and that went wild. That went wild. I'm not sure it took any demand away from Royal Enfield, because I think those people that bought the Honda CB350, generally speaking, may well have been sat there waiting for something to come from the likes of Honda. For whatever reason. Shoot me down if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. It's just my thoughts. But the range that's coming up now, the 400, the 500, and hopefully the 1000, that could blow the market. And everybody's buying retros. We've already talked about that. We're all, you know, I'm an old fart. It's just so much easier to get on. It's so much easier for Incontinentia to get on the bike, yeah, than climbing up the Triumph 800, the Tiger 800. She much prefers to ride on the back of the GSX 1400 because it's easy to get on and it's got a nice, comfortable saddle, yeah. Doesn't feel like a razor blade on your buttocks. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in the air, a lot of seeds in the air. This is great. There's just no one around. No one around. Then again, that said, having been working from home since returning from Qatar in 2019, the latter end of 2019, I will admit I've been a bit of a hobbit. I haven't seen rush hour traffic much in the UK for the last, what, it's got to be. It's coming on 10 years. And went out the other day. It was absolute chaos on the road. I'll tell you about that in a future video when I'm on the bike. Anyway, there we go. The rise of the king. The rise of the king. Let's take this out of here. Let's put that out. Come on, Susie. Hope the video was thought-provoking. There's going to be lots of choice when it comes to retros from Honda. Kawasaki have already done it. Suzuki have got a couple of retros in there. The 800s. I do like the Z900 from Kawasaki. Oh, absolutely wonderful. But the Honda sort of pulls me close, the 1000, but I'm not going to take advantage of 120 horsepower. Although it's nice to have, I guess. I'll see you soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you on the other side. Bye-bye. Ride safely. Bloody ride safely. It's chaos out on the roads. See you soon. Bye-bye.